Hi, everyone, and welcome to Austin360 Studio Sessions, brought to you by Bud Light. I'm Amy Edwards, on-air personality at Austin360 Radio. Today on Studio Sessions, we are so excited to welcome The Suffers. The Suffers are an American soul, funk, and R&B group from Houston. Today, we get to chat with Cam Franklin, lead singer of the band. They were formed in 2011. They've had an album listed as Billboard's top 10 anticipated rock and alternative albums. They've been featured in Esquire, New York Times, NPR, including starring in an episode of World Cafe, BuzzFeed. They played South by Southwest, and they've received 11 Houston Press Music Awards. That is an impressive list. And welcome, Cam. Thank you so much for joining us on Austin Studio Sessions today.
Oh man, thank you so much for having me. This is awesome.
It's so awesome. And we're excited to hear you perform today. And I would encourage everyone to stick around for after the performance when we actually get to have more of an in-depth chat. But first off, just tell us a little bit about maybe what's going on in your world today and what you're going to play first for us.
Yes, what's going on in my world today is I am finishing up the third studio album with my band, The Suffers, and I am in the middle of prepping for a virtual music festival that I'm getting ready to launch on October 27th to encourage young people to get registered to vote.
Right on. That's awesome. So what's the first song that we're going to hear from you guys today?
Yes, this first song is called Take Me to the Good Times, and it's about exactly that. I feel like we could all use just a dose of something a bit more positive and happy, and we tried to really just lead with that in this song. So we hope it cheers up anybody that could just use a dose of positivity right now.
I think that's every single one of us in 2020, that's for sure. So a beautiful message. Let's throw it over to The Suffers right now and stick around for our interview with Cam afterward.
This is the brand new single from my band, The Suffers. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Let's do this together, y'all. Hey, hey. We gonna shake this negative energy off together, so let's do it, eh? Let's do it. Hey, hey, let's do it. Hey, let's do it. I just gotta get out, most days you see. I like walking around, it's good for me. Could you do for me where we could go? Take me to the good times. I just gotta get out, most days you see. I like walking around, it's good for me. Could you do for me where we could go? Take me to the good times. Summer's in Brooklyn, with an age, shaking this on the rooftop, oh, baby, okay. Hey, hey, hey. Springtime in London, fall in Tokyo, I fall in love more every time I go, yeah. When the sun comes out in Portugal, I'm talking over Portugal. I might stick around until the colors change. I just gotta get out, most days you see. I'm walking around, it's good for me. You tell me where we could go. You do the good times. I just gotta get out, most days you see. I'm walking around, it's good for me. You tell me where we could go. You do the good times. Trying to hang like a local. Could you tell me where to go? Stick a coin in a jukebox at the hole in the wall. Hey. Grab some Harold's in Chicago. I'm a pass along my lord and take a recommendation for a good grab ball. When the sun comes out in Portland, I'm talking over corn in May. I might stick around until the colors change. You gotta get out, most days you see. I'm walking around, it's good for me. You tell me where we could go. You do the good times. I just gotta get out, most days you see. I like walking around, it's good for me. You tell me where we could go. You do the good times. Take me to the people. I'm trying to see my people. I'm trying to see my people. I need to see my people. Could you tell me You better go claim your joy, all right? Thank you. Moved in the coffee filter, nails flying all around. Been about 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 years since you've been here. Been about 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 years. Ooh, what my mama saw me say. She'd have my way. How'd you let it get sway? Let it get sway. How'd you let it get sway? She'd say. How'd you let it get sway? Let it get sway. Would you let it get sway? Would you let it get sway? Let it get sway. Let it get sway. She'd say. How'd you let it get sway? Let it get sway. Would you let it get sway? She'd say. Everything here, baby. Everything here reminds me of you. Everything here, baby. Everything here reminds me of you. Reminds me of you. Yeah. Reminds me of you. How'd you let it get sway? Would you let it get sway? How'd you let it get sway? She'd say. Would you let it get sway? Let it get sway. Would you let it get sway? How'd you let it get sway? Let it get sway. Would you let it get sway? She'd say. How'd you let it get sway? Let it get sway. Would you let it get sway? She'd say. Everything here, baby. Everything here reminds me of you. Everything here, baby. Everything here reminds me of you. Reminds me of you. Yeah. Reminds me reminds me of you. Yeah. Come on, Michael Roscoe, I'ma soften it up a little bit. This song is called After the Storm. It was written during Hurricane Harvey when it hit Houston, Texas. Trouble don't last always, y'all. It don't last always. I wanna see you Franklin from Houston, Texas, representing the Suffers. Follow us, thesuffers.com. We love you. Be kind to one another and take care of each other.
Okay, welcome back with Cam Franklin, lead singer of The Suffers. Cam, so happy that you joined us and made a little time. You guys have had a really busy schedule, seems like even in 2020. And one of the things we've been leading with all of our artists lately is how you're doing during the pandemic and how this has pushed you creatively and, you know, just how you guys have dealt with it, because you have a really big band.
Yes. Well, how we have been doing during the pandemic, I guess probably depends on what day you ask. But I would say that today is definitely a more positive chapter in the story that is 2020 for us. It has been a lot of just learning how to communicate in a more effective way, learning how to create during a quarantine period. It's also been a very creative time. I've gotten into building these backdrops and art installations so that I can present this music in a way that's just a little bit different than how you're probably consuming performances right now. And in a lot of ways, I would say that even though we're far apart, it's brought us closer as a band because we've had to communicate to survive this. And I don't mean like just on a, hey man, this is due tomorrow, hey man, or this is what we got going, like on some, hey, are you all right? Because, you know, we talk about the pandemic, but you know, I'm in a multiracial band that's going through quite a few at one time right now. And that is a topic that has to always be communicated. You know, you're only as strong and as happy as your saddest or your weakest member, right? And so, you know, as a family, more than a band, we have learned over the almost 10 years that we've been together that for us to do this together, for us to emerge from this together, we have to work as if, you know, this is something that we want together, like with any other healthy relationship, you know? And so I am proud to say that we have done the work, and we are nearing the end of this album process, and it has been something that I'm just so proud of us for doing and pushing through. And I just want to encourage any of our peers out there that might feel a bit challenged or a bit overwhelmed without maybe a feeling to create right now, or maybe you're just not really sure how to get started. A lot of the stuff that I'm doing on our live streams right now, because I've been doing a lot of them solo, including this one, I learned on YouTube. I learned from Instagram or asking friends for help, or, you know, like it has been a transformational time, but again, a time for togetherness, a time for really like punching all the egos out of the way, because, you know, there's no space for them here, and really just growth. And, you know, I feel like we are just pushing through, and I'm ready to emerge from this stronger.
Beautiful. Wow. There was so much amazingness in there. And I'm just so happy for you, because it's not easy to do when you stretch those muscles, but that's where the growth happens, right? And you've stretched those communication muscles with all of you, and stretched those creativity muscles, and seen some beautiful things arise out of that. And that is a wonderful inspiration for a lot of people. And as you've done that, how have you seen it connect with your fans as you've stretched in those times? Like, how has that landed as you've done, you know, online stuff?
I would say that we are so very lucky in that we have always gotten to float the way that we do because of our fans and the way that they support us. And so even though this is such a new and strange way to consume art, you know, we launched a Patreon during this time, which gave us even closer of a way to connect with our fans through group chats and Zooms and dinner, like virtual dinner kind of things. And it's been a really cool way to connect with them while, you know, they wait for us to get through this album process. but also while they wait for us to be able to come back to their towns, while they wait for us to start performing and releasing the way that we really want to. But it's allowed us to be able to actually hear their suggestions for the first time really in a long time, because when you're doing this with any other business, if you're an entrepreneur, you can only take so much suggestion, you can only apply so much suggestion before, you know, you get through your own ideas and your own mistakes. And so a lot of times, while you would love to apply these things that your cousin them or whoever, you know, it's like, girl, you should try this, y'all should do this, y'all should whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of times you really want to, but you can't. And so this time for us has really been an opportunity to try everything that we've never been able to do because of time. And so again, you know, it's been a moment for us to take advantage of this, not to look at it as a burden, not to look at it as a, man, this is a way to, you know, add another way to oppress us on this list. Like, no, it's like, okay, well, how are we going to get through this? Okay, well, how can we get our fans even more connected? How can we reach out and see, like, maybe we can write something about this period of time that, you know, maybe they're going through this too. And, you know, like it's just a way, a new way to listen. I would say that's what has come with our connection with the fans. I feel like it's just, again, gotten better.
Yeah, that's super cool. Well, that made me curious about the name The Suffers, because you know, you have this positive message, and even that single that we talked about, Take Me to the Good Times, that you played, you know, is about like lifting up. And I was just curious about the name, like, how did that come about?
Oh yeah, we get asked that all the time. And
I'm sure.
well, I always tell people, well, I'll tell you what the original story is after, but I always tell folks as a joke, I say, I'm in a band with a bunch of boys, you know, a harsh sounding name didn't sound that harsh to them, but it's actually a positive-ish reference to a 70s movie from Jamaica called Rockers. And the movie stars a bunch of real musicians from that era, and the fashion and the music is all fantastic. A lot of mainly reggae music, just like amazing aesthetics. But there's a part in the movie where one of the artists refers to themselves as a sufferer. And a sufferer is basically an artist that puts everything out there, all the art, all the love, all the vulnerability, all the everything. And they do it knowing that they're probably not going to get much in return, you know. And I really do feel that in essence, that is being a true artist sometimes, is knowing that you're sharing your gift and you're sharing your project or whatever with the intent of getting that energy out into the world, sharing, hoping that someone connects with it, and not with the purpose of constantly capitalizing or even minimally capitalizing. Because sometimes people make the most beautiful art and beautiful music, whatever, and they won't make any money, you know. And so we are in this, and we've been in this knowing that money would be real hard to achieve, you know. Like, we weren't head in our clouds, but, you know, we had a vision and we had a dream, knowing that the cards would be against us, especially with us being a big band, you know, with a black lead singer and a bunch of Mexicans and all these isms going against us. But the thing is that we didn't let that stop us. You know, it's almost like, you know, we're survivors. We know this coming out the gate, but we're still here. And next year will make 10 years for us. And, you know, there's a lot of people that when we started our first year, how y'all gonna do it that way with all the people in that band? Or how are you gonna do it like this? Or we've already whatever. And you know what? We've been around the world a few times now. We've done a lot of things a few times now. And so I have learned that working beyond the limited mindsets of critics that have no idea where we are headed just works out so much more in our favor.
Makes you just stronger. It just makes you guys stronger all around. I can hear it.
Definitely. And you know, it just inspires the next generation of hungry, independent artists to come out swinging and know that you can do it. And if for some reason they don't get it or they don't understand it, to just do it anyway or try it in your own way.
That's right. Just go for it and survive, suffer for your art, do what you got to do, right?
Exactly.
Well, you do have great things coming up. You've got this new album. What can you tell us about that?
Yes.
Tell me
Well,
everything.
I can't go into too much detail just yet. We started off with 70 songs about 2 years ago.
What?
You know,
Yeah.
when you go through a lot of trauma, art just kind of flows out of you sometimes. And 2016 and 2017 were not our favorite years. And so a lot of music came out of that. And I'm really proud that we've gotten to a place where, you know, we've narrowed it down to just under 13 songs. And, you know, it's a side of us that a lot of people haven't seen. The single that's out right now, Take Me to the Good Times, is the first single that we chose to release. But I honestly think it might almost be a slight departure, while at the same time being a shout out to the band that we used to be. I feel like it's kind of walking towards this more fearless place with our musicianship, where in the past it's been about showing how much control we have, and, you know, the flow of the dynamics, and letting everything breathe and letting everything have its whatever, while all of us playing all the time. And so, you know, I'm really excited to show a bit more range, and I'm really excited to talk about some of these collaborators when it comes time to like share. But for now, you know, Take Me to the Good Times is available where all music is streaming, and we would love for you to just have yourself a good time and listen to it.
Yes, for sure. What's been your favorite part of this new creation?
My favorite part of this new creation has just been the way that people have been responding to it. You know, we have learned what it's like to be a band that is the indie darling at everything, and then to go to the band where, are you sure you're supposed to be back here? Do you have the right credentials? You know, like, what?
Where's your press pass? Where's your pass? Where's your credentials?
Exactly. But that can happen really fast. And, you know, a lot of people, they have whatever preconceived notion about how successful they think any artist is. But, you know, until you're in that place and you've really gotten to see what rock bottom looks like as an artist, it's really hard to come back from that. And, you know, as a band that has gone through so much, I look at this song as a celebratory flag of like, oh my gosh, we were able to write about positive stuff after having our gear stolen, after having to just go through really traumatic things as a group. You know, any band, I always say you're gonna have things that you go through together that are your story and your moments, and it's just a lot sometimes, and if you can get through them, it's a really healing thing. But to go from such a dark place into being able to just sing about joy, like that to me is the real celebration.
That's beautiful. And to be able to stay together 10 years is just incredible, even without 2020 and all that. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, congrats for that. And what an amazing bond you guys must have. I'm gonna see if I can give everybody a quick shout out right now. So tell me if I miss anybody or get it wrong. So the band consists of you, Cam Franklin, Julia Terrell, Kevin Bernier, I hope I said that right, John Durbin, Michael Razzo, Jose Luna, and Nick Zamora. Is that right?
Yeah. I was like, did she say 7? I feel like you said John Durbin. Yes,
I did.
You got everybody. Yes,
good. Everybody deserves a shout out.
I swear, sometimes when I'm introducing the band, they'll all be in front of me, but I'll be like, no. And, you know, and I don't feel bad at all about it. My grandma had 8 kids, and my great grandma had 13 kids, and I'd still see her doing this one, counting kids out when people would ask their names. So sometimes you have to do what you got to do to get the number right.
I only have 2 kids. I can barely get it out right all the time. So good Lord, totally can imagine that. So, all right. So you said you were filming a music festival too. As we wrap up, please just share with me like where everybody can find you, what they can see that's going on, and that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Well, to keep up with the Suffers, you can do all of that at thesuffers.com, and you can get really weird with us and intimate with us and whatever way you want. Just kidding. At patreon.com/thesuffers. But this music festival that I'm throwing, it's called Cam Franklin and Friends. It's a celebration of POC artists from all throughout the South, but music, poetry, we got a little bit of everything in there, but it's also going to serve as a last minute voting rally. We partnered with headcount.org, who is almost at 500,000 registered voters for 2020, which is absolutely amazing. But we're just going to try to encourage that last round of voters that might be waiting until the last minute to just get out there, get their voice heard for whoever it is that they decide to vote for. I know who I'm voting for, but we want to make sure that they feel empowered to get out there to the polls and make their voices heard.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much, Cam. It was a joy to talk to you today and be able to share all your messages and everything that you're doing. Do you have a release date for the album yet?
It's going to be sometime probably in spring or summer 2021. And I completely forgot to tell people how to find the festival. It's at music with K, MUSIK, Houston.com, and you can RSVP and it's free. So please join us.
Fantastic. That's so great. Anything else before we go that you need to share?
Just to be kind to yourself and to have a nice day.
I couldn't agree more. Oh, you are just a beautiful soul. And we can't thank you enough for joining us here at Austin360 Studio Sessions. And a big shout out to all the rest of the Suffers who couldn't be with us today. So thank you, Cam Franklin. And thank you to you for joining us right here on Austin360 Studio Sessions. We love you and really appreciate your support. If you need to watch more studio sessions, simply go to austin360.com. Click at the top where it says Studio Sessions and you can catch up on all of the episodes that you missed. And remember, we'll be running full audio also on Austin360 Radio. You can download the app anytime and listen there. I'm Amy Edwards. Thanks again for being here today with us for Austin360 Studio Sessions, brought to you by Bud Light with the Suffers. Until next time, peace, love, light, abundance, wealth, health, all that good stuff to you.